Here we are, our annual Private Beatles reunion.
It's still the same rules, right, Paul?
Of course it is, George. Last surviving member of the Beatles gets a secret hidden, the Beatles tool treasure, consisting of all the priceless pieces of art and war relics given to us by all the world leaders over the years for being so good at music.
Oh my God, shut up, Ringo.
It's me, the devil. I'm here to collect on the pack you made all those years ago.
Oh, what? Oh, come on, you already got John.
Yeah, but that was technically a deal made by Yoko, so it doesn't count. Oh, I knew it, that lazy hippie. Yeah, so I still need a soul from the Beatles.
Well, why don't you take Ringo there?
He can't. I've got 37 deals over 14 different devils.
Yeah, by the way, that's too many deals. We've talked. You're cut off from making all future devil dealings.
So why don't you just take Paul then? You already took him once. I'm sure we can find a third Paul.
We keep telling you, Ringo, that wasn't real. You fell asleep with the Twilight Zone on the telly.
I still stand by my statement.
Oi, you're not the only drummer in Liverpool, you know.
Guys, there's no need to fight. We can figure this out diplomatically, like drawing straws or something.
Take George.
Gladly.
Huh. Just out of curiosity, why did you choose now to collect on the deal?
Someone need me to remake A Hard Day's Night in an acceptable way.
Huh. If I knew that, I would have let you take my soul.
I'll still take it.
Nah, I'll stick it out.
Still can't have mine.
Shut up, Ringo.
So, are they just going to call it Hard Day's Night again?
No, they'll probably call it something like Spice World.
They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this?
Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This, the only podcast to skeedly bop to Funky Town, just to zig a zig ah. And we asked the question, why would you make this?
So disappointed in you.
Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Danny Money. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right till yourself.
Not so bad. This movie was, whatever. I'm joined also by Huge.
Say it like that every time, as though it's the... I hate you.
All right, well, so we watched the 1997 music comedy film Spice World, right? That's what we watched.
I mean, if you call that music and if you call that comedy, then absolutely.
I have a strong inkling that there are several films in history that are one genre, and then after they're released, they're like, that wasn't very good, and they go, oh, that's because it's also a comedy. Yeah, no, now it's also a comedy, and so they're like, that's how they try to we were making jokes. Meanwhile, I go, no, that was you guys were 100% seriously the whole time.
Oh, hi, doggy. Yeah. You know the room?
Oh,
we'll get there.
Yeah. So Spice World premiered in the UK the 15th of December, 1997, and slowly spread throughout the world until finally Japan got it.
Like a virus.
And, yeah, every time. It's like a virus. Japan got it in July 25th, 1998. So that should explain why it was lost in translation. No, it wasn't, though, but it wasn't lost in translation at all. Argentina, Hungary, Peru, Poland, and Russia all called it Spice World. Mexico and Brazil called it El Mundo del Spice Girls, which is the world of the Spice Girls, or Spice Girls World, or Spice World. So I'm just going to cut them slack and say they got it right. So
close enough.
In contrast of Delta, Brazil and Mexico, I'm cutting you some slack. So Australia, French Canada, Germany, Spain, Finland, Greece, Norway, Portugal, and Turkey all called it Spice World, the film, or the movie.
Here's a quick aside. Would you say that French Canada is the least popular Canada? I'd say that's a given.
Sure.
When any American who's just like, I hate them damn Canadians, they only think of the French Canadian part.
I'm sure that there's a large swath of actual Canadians that go, those damn Northern Canadians.
Or those Nova Scotians.
Yeah, they're all those
man.
Eskimoians.
Thinking they're all great on their own
Eskimolian Joe.
island.
So, Italy, they called the film Spice Girls, the film.
Technically accurate.
Yeah, I guess. That's right. Slovenia and Bulgaria just called it Spice Girls. And now we get into the working titles. They had so many working titles. The first working title was Spice Girls. Next was Spice Girls, the movie. Next was Spice, the movie.
Oh, man. How many disappointed people were there who were just like, finally, a 90-minute movie about oregano. And they see these bitches
Just
carrying
think
on.
about all the trade routes we'll learn about. Like,
Where's the parsley?
I came here for a 45-minute movie on cinnamon, and I got nothing. They also had Spice Up Your Life, which was going to be a great cooking show, I'm sure. They also had Five Girls, which is just the laziest title you could have. And the worst title of them all, which is It's Been a Hard 15 Minutes.
The amount of time you can get through this film before taking a pencil and shoving it into
That's
your
about.
nose.
It was roughly about every 15 minutes before I went, I'm gonna go just see what's happening elsewhere in the world. I'm just gonna walk over there. Oh, look, there's a bird outside. Better than that movie. So, hopefully, all that explained why it made what it made. Mr. Money. Oh my God, he's dead.
Well,
Go ahead, Mr. Money.
In the U.S., Spice World made $29.3 million. It fared way better internationally, making $48.2 million. The budget for the movie was $25 million that they spent to make this, which actually, surprisingly, not bad. They made their budget plus more, you figure.
Yeah, and that's just. Oh yeah, you said U.S. and international. Okay,
Yeah, because altogether they made about $77.5 million.
Yeah, that's actually not surprising at all. The Spice Girls were a goddamn phenomenon.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's very true.
Yeah, so that was a pretty quick budget segment. So let's go on to the best hour, our favorite hour, the Troy McClure hour. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You'll recognize me from such regretful music-based movies as the behind-the-scenes video of Jim Carrey's debut album, Jim Carrey Sings the Other Hits, and Bjork's 4-hour alternative yodeling concert.
Love that one.
Oh, I came twice. So, the Spice Girls, unlike Rob Bass, are both internationally known and known to rock a microphone. So I'm only going to do one credit for each of them because I think most people should know at least vaguely who they are. Victoria Beckham, who at the time was known as Victoria Adams, played legit. These were their names in the movie. She played Posh Spice. They all went by their spot. That's their character name in the film.
Hell yeah. Don't want to confuse the people.
Like how you were only British for the second half of that sentence.
Accurate.
Yes. You recognize her voice as Aphrodite in the 2010 episode The Clash of Triton in the 1999 animated television series SpongeBob SquarePants. Jerry Horner, known at the time as Geraldine Hallowell, plays Ginger Spice. You recognize her as Karen Chelios. Oh, good. I'm glad you know what that is. In the 2009 Crank High Voltage. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh,
I do
okay.
know Chelios because Chris Chelios, big time hockey player. Back in my day, kids.
I tell you, that's the one thing that I'm like, well, at least hockey has that going for it, is hockey fans can pronounce any fucking name in the world.
It's harder now because when I was really like obsessed with hockey when I was growing up in the 90s into the early 2000s, there was almost no huge swath of international players.
It's just white guys.
It was just, well, it still is, but it's...
Well, I meant like
just
Yeah.
Canada, say Canada, Canada, United States, and then occasionally you get some guys from other places. Now it's like tons of dudes from Russia and Croatia and all these weird places. So the names you had to pronounce on the back of your jersey as a 12-year-old went from like Messier and Gretzky and Robitaille to Kazim Bunakhanov and Kuzminasistan.
Yeah.
And ones with no vowels.
And ones with no...
So, yeah.
It's great. Thanks for that story.
You're welcome.
So Melanie Brown plays Scary Spice. You'll recognize her as a judge on, like, any musical talent show, like America's Got Talent, or, like, literally any X Factor on any continent you go to. At some point in time, she's been a judge on that show. Melanie C., known at the time as Melanie Chisholm, plays Sporty Spice. You'll recognize her, I hope, as Mary Magdalene in the 40th anniversary of Jesus Christ Superstar, the live arena tour. That's famous because, what's his name? Tim Minchin? Tim, the guy who sings. He's like an atheist.
Tiny Tim?
No, but close. He's like the new Tiny Tim.
Oh my god.
Wait, he's like a famous comedian who's like, he played, what's the bad guy in the Jesus story? Judas. Yeah, he played Judas. That was it.
My first inclination was not Jesus.
No, yeah.
Someone
The other guy.
rude to Jesus. That swaddling cloth looks stupid on you.
And from that day forward, rude patron in the restaurant became the enemy of Christianity everywhere.
I believe his last name in the Bible was Starbucks.
Oh, no.
No wonder they boycott.
So, the last person, Emma Bunton, plays Baby Spice. You recognize her as her own character, Emma Bunton, in the 2016 absolutely fabulous The Movie. Can't believe.
That movie probably was more successful than this one. Absolutely fabulous movie. That's a huge,
It might have been.
huge thing over there.
You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. It's a large one, so you might want to... There's a lot
of cameos.
Yeah. So you guys want to start the film?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Start the film. So the film opens with dull neon silhouettes and also close-ups of the Spice Girls. Well, the close-ups are non-neon. It's actually their face, or neon silhouettes. It's their faces. They sing a song, what I perceive to be about how orgasms are only good for so long, and then you need something else. And I'm like, isn't this for kids? Like, what's going on? Is this what all their music's about? Just orgasms? Like, what did I miss? I think I listened to this music. So, did you guys notice that I thought it was just like, oh, fuck you. Like, you can't even be like part of the group, which is all the Spice Girls are wearing white outfits, except for Ginger Spice. She's wearing white outfit with like black letters of like protest, like girl power and like feminism and like symbols. And I'm like, we're doing a white thing. Like, why you gotta protest your own concert? Like, what are you doing?
Because I think that's her gimmick, is she's the wild card.
Well, their whole thing was girl power. They were,
No,
they were very
yeah,
girl
their whole
power.
thing is girl power, but if you think about the whole movie, like, everyone fits to their character's name.
Oh, like a stereotype, right?
Right, except for her, like, the whole time I'm just like, what's her gimmick? Is she the wild card?
Think we were gonna get into this early, but yeah, what is like her?
She's
Posh Spice is she's very posh
she's
and
very
like
posh
she
and-
Well,
needs to be
at
sure
the same
she's-
time, part of me thinks that's a nice way of being like, yeah, this is bitch spice.
Yeah, and that's 100% what it is. It's like stuck
very
up bitch
stuck up,
spice.
snotty,
Yeah,
stuck
yeah.
up spoiled plaything.
yeah. Trust fund bitch.
Yeah,
Oh, and then
exactly.
trust fund spice. Sorry, I forgot. It's the bitch girls, no? Baby bitch and scary bitch and
You almost, to me, I don't know you didn't do it, but I heard it with a Spanish accent that was stereotypical. It's bitch spice, no?
it's bitch spice. Hey,
It's bitch
And
spice,
spice.
Orale. The spice bitches.
These spice bitches, vato. Is that a bad use of vato? I'm sorry.
No.
No, he had that
Excellent.
double look on. Yeah, I just saw. I thought that her gimmick, if you will, for Ginger was that she was like weird because she was a know-it-all, and that was her thing. Was that everyone would be like, "Ugh, here she is again, talking about a bunch of crap we don't want to hear."
Yeah, I thought it was just that maybe because she was ginger, she was just like, she's a weirdo.
Doesn't have a soul.
Well, yeah, that too.
Well, that's what part of me then started to think too. I was like, are they just really lazy? Like, she has red hair. She's a ginger.
I don't know. It's like, I'm the smart one. No.
Not really.
No, you're the one with red hair.
You're the one that everyone throws at first because of sexual attraction.
Jesus.
My God.
Hey, they prove it later. The kid in the coma.
That's true. Yeah, right. So let's get to this movie. The Spice Girls are walking down a hall with their manager, and we cut to this like perpetual reporter. Who is it? Alan Cumming, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's this guy who keeps trying to film a movie, like a behind-the-scenes movie of the Spice Girls, but like, despite having full permission, nobody seems to care whether it happens or not. Like,
And is he really trying to film it if you think about it? He only appears in like 5 or 6 scenes. It just plays like a background character to the whole thing.
What's really odd is he clearly has permission to be there, but he's sneaking around the whole time. He's in the balcony, and he's like, "Oh, we'll get a better shot here. Oh, look, we can go on the boat now." And it's like he's sneaking through the grass, and then 2 seconds later he'll be talking to the manager, and they'll be like, "Yeah, It's like, all right, so you're supposed to be here.
yeah, oh man, this manager, he's the worst goddamn manager I've ever seen in my life. And I've probably only seen like 2 managers in my life. Like, are you a manager? Anybody a manager like the Costco or something like that? You are? Okay, so 3. We're rocking 3 now.
What? So you didn't know I was manager, and now I'm the worst manager.
What? I didn't
at
say you're
you.
the worst. I'm saying I know 3 managers.
Oh, I thought you were saying you know 2 terrible managers now.
Someone
And I
has a
never
guilty
was like,
conscience that he's a terrible manager.
Oh, it's accurate, yeah.
Yeah, well, all right. So I do know. What are you coming down on me for?
That's what I do.
Probably why you're a bad manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, boss, put all the tools away. You dick! Go! I don't know how to be a manager. I've got no clue. I can't even pretend reprimand.
Loud voices!
Yeah, exactly. Managing skills.
I'm gonna give you a raise for sticking around. I don't work here. I'm a customer.
Fired!
Get out of my store!
Everybody's fired. So yeah, he was doing a thing, right? Yeah, there's a terrible reporter. That's right. And he's trying to get the Spice Girl. He's setting up a shot for the Spice Girls. But first we get a cameo, which they're walking down the hall. And they go,
First
Elton
one.
John. Oh my God, it's so great to see you. And they kiss him a bunch. And they kissed him a bunch. And I went, hang on a second. When did Elton John come out of the closet? Like, I thought this was like some weird oh nobody knows yet. Like. But no, he came out in like the 70s. He came out twice. He came out as bisexual and then as gay.
Oh, I thought you meant like, in case everyone's like, no. It's like, no, really? Like 4 years later. No, I'm serious.
Exactly, he had to ease everyone in. If he went full blown, I'm gay, everyone's gonna be like, no, Elton, come on.
That'd be amazing if in like I don't know, like 10 years from now, Ellen's career starts to fail, and she's like, listen, folks, I've got this amazing, like, stupendous announcement I have to make. Everyone needs to come, and everyone comes and goes, listen, I'm gay. It's like, yeah, we know. Like, well, thanks for showing up, and just leaves.
I mean it elsewhere.
I did it. Yeah, flies away.
Exactly, after 20 years, I still don't enjoy penis. Next report.
Okay. So... I don't know where we are anymore. Oh, right, Elton John. They go back to the girls. They walk to the hall. The reporter's in the wrong hall. He doesn't get the shot. We got a terrible manager, which the Spice Girls go to leave out the back door, and he's like, don't worry, there's nobody out this back door. And once they get out there, there's thousands of fans, but not just thousands of fans. There's guardrails and security guards and a pathway set up. Like, either he is lying throughout this entire movie, or he knows nothing at all, anything about anything that's going on at all.
When it happened, I was like, all right, here's a nice little cute joke where it's like, don't worry, I've taken care of it. You know, everyone's in the front, we'll go out the back. And there's a million people, I'm like, oh, haha. But they didn't do the reaction to that as though it wasn't a joke.
No.
It was just a thing that happened.
They were like, here's our photo op, and let's sign... Like, they didn't even miss a beat. Like, nobody seemed to be like, what? Where are all these people here? What's going on? They're like, well, that's... Well, in the front, there was 2 million people, and in the back there's only one.
Actually,
so
I'm pretty
it's
sure
like nobody.
one of them, while she's signing and he passes by, does like make an offhanded comment of "Oh, I thought you said there was nobody back here."
Oh,
One
I
of them,
stand
no,
corrected.
I think one of them says, "What was that you said, Clifford?" I think because that's his name, Clifford.
Okay.
But
He's not a big red dog.
she doesn't say it because
cheating.
the video camera, the video camera is on them, and their voices, their mouths don't move, and the voices are just add later to be like, yeah, that's how we'll make sense of that.
Post-production.
Exactly. So, we suddenly jump to the bus.
God.
The Spice Girls enter the bus. They announce their characters. They're like, stay away from my toys. What dress will I wear? Blah, blah, blah. The manager announces they have 15 minutes to get to Albert Hall because they have, well, they doesn't say it till later, but they have a press meeting. And they all get ready again in their stereotypical ways. Baby Spice swings on a swing. Sporty works out. Posh has 8 of the same dress. She's like, I don't know which one to wear. Oh, my God.
How big do they really want us to believe this bus is?
Oh, it's a freaking TARDIS. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's an entire apartment.
And it has a second floor.
Yeah. Well, it's a double decker.
That's true.
But didn't they have problems with the bathroom or something?
Yes.
Okay.
All of them, they said. They said all, oh, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. It's not...
Wouldn't want to jump too far ahead.
Yeah,
in this.
oh, spoil this gem for these folks. No way.
God, I hate this.
So, this is going to be like a long episode. So, where are we? Yes, press meeting. Girls, they're like, at the press meeting, they're like, we're going to work with a new band. We're going to be seen by millions, maybe more. Girl power, peace sign, girl power. We jump to the part of the movie that I'm not sure is in the movie, is meta, like, against... I have no idea how these scenes and these characters fall in with this film. We go to the writers, or the writer and his boss, and the writer shows his boss work, but he's like, oh, look at the Spice Girls on the TV, we should have a movie for them. And they're like, can they even act? He's like, who cares? It doesn't matter if they can act, just write a movie for them. And he's like, so I got one. There's these 5 girls, and they sing. And he's like, brilliant, we'll sell it to Hollywood. And we go to the next scene, and I was like, okay. We go to the manager's office, and the chief calls the manager, and he's speaking in very strange metaphors. Like,
So technically, well, it's Roger Moore
yes,
as the chief.
yes,
And it's
one of the least favorite James Bonds, I think.
second most famous compared to
No,
Sean
least
Connery.
favorite.
Oh no!
Yeah,
oh,
people
no.
like Roger Moore.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know.
That's a whole other conversation.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
don't worry.
yeah.
I'll yell at you later.
Okay.
But what bothered me was that I guess he's supposed to be like the head of the record label or something, but that's never made clear. It's just he's a guy named Chief who just walks around and changes his animal every scene.
Yeah, I couldn't pay attention to it, but I noticed there was a cat in one scene.
It started out as the cat,
Yeah.
which is a good James Bond reference.
yes.
And then it switches to the bunny, and then it
Okay.
switches to the pig.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was one past pig. I think
yeah.
that
No,
was
no,
it.
I think it was
Okay.
it.
That's strange. But yeah, he speaks in like weird metaphors because obviously he's read Count Fester Rhymopolis books. Yeah, that guy gets around. You think you've never heard of him, but everybody has.
If I had a nickel.
I'd have a nickel. I would owe you a nickel. So we go to practice, which happens quite often in this film. And the Spice Girls sing a song, and like you said, this is when we pan up to the balcony, and the reporter, movie maker guy from earlier, he's like, oh, we're gonna get them, and we gotta get a long shot, and we gotta do this, and he's just like super enthusiastic about it, and even his own cameraman's like, I don't, like, nobody cares, who cares about this? Then the keyboardist, he misses a key,
Oh man!
and the Spice Girls take a dump on him.
Shit on that
They
dude.
shit hard. They're like, what you doing? Your finger's made of putty. You can't fucking...
You're bloody awful.
yeah.
You should have been aborted.
You couldn't finger a watermelon. I love it is Sporty Spice doesn't pull down her microphone. She insults him into the microphone.
She wants to make sure he hears it.
I wouldn't fuck you with the Queen's dick.
So suddenly their friend shows up, some pregnant Asian lady, and they go, we're just going to take a break. They're like, you can't take a break. They're like, we can do whatever we want. Goodbye. And they walk over like 5 feet away. and they sit down and they take a break with their friend, and she's like, my whatever boyfriend or whatever left me. I can't believe that happened. And then we go up to the balcony, and the reporter is like talking with the manager. It's like, it's gonna be a great movie. He's like, I don't care. I literally don't care, just so long as it's on schedule. We go back to the pregnant friend lady, and she's like, oh man, think about what it's gonna be like when you guys have kids, huh? We go to a cutaway gag. We go to this motherhood dream sequence where all the girls are dressed like mothers, like with they're just like absolutely fabulous characters.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they're all pregnant, and they're all complaining about their kids, and how, I don't know if you noticed this, but all their kids, they wear Spice Girls clothes, and they listen to Spice Girls music, and even though they do all that, they're like, these kids, they listen to garbage music, and they wear junk, and I'm just like, what? What is this, is this the Spice monarchy? The Spice Girls have taken over the world, now there's like camps, like, you're retro Spice Girls? No, I'm new Spice Girls. What about the middle age where they broke up and started doing avant-garde stuff, like in...
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's more a sense of bitterness. Their careers are over, and all they have left are T-shirts.
Oh, the kids they're playing their mother's music ironically.
Yes.
Spice Girls didn't even get up to the Rubber Soul stage. They were still on, like, Help. they were still on Help, and then that was it. They were gone.
So, first off, I want to say, I already said what I want to say first, but I also want to say, they're all pregnant at the same time. Spice Gangbang?
Orgy, man.
Spice Gangbang, right?
Sporgy.
Sporgy? It's gotta be. I'm just saying, it's gotta be. So the dream sequence ends. I don't know what's the sound to end a dream sequence?
I'm sorry.
Why'd you seem so happy doing that?
No, he's trying to make you go, I understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I agree, don't ever do it again. It was garbage. But yeah, we go back to the practice, and they have to go back to practice. So they do. And they sing a song that I recognize as famous, but also don't know the name to. So,
I'm not gonna. I was almost gonna say like 8 of their songs, which is embarrassing. But I think "Spice of Your Life" or no, "Wannabe" is the one that you're thinking of. That's their most famous.
Well, they're all famous. Look, son, I had the CD when I was a kid.
Listen, I had the cassette.
You were very poor, huh?
Motherfucker, cassettes were the shit. All right, I had. Listen.
Yeah, his boombox with 4 4D batteries that only lasted for 2 hours.
Like
Cusack,
super bass,
I don't want to hear about
like
this.
woofers and stuff, right? Surround
You held it on one shoulder.
Kidding me? I was like 10.
Walk with a limp, right? Everybody got shot.
I got shot 9 times listening to the Spice Girls soundtrack. I was cool on Batman Forever and Titanic, but this was the one. Homie said it was too much. So the practice. Or wait, newspaper now, I'm sorry.
The practice ends with, whatever. Them trying to get more shots. I don't know. It's, every time a song comes on, I go, the best part about a music movie instead of a musical is the songs don't tell stories. So I literally don't have to pay attention to them. Yeah. There's literally no point to pay attention to the songs because there's no story in them. It's not a musical.
Exactly. It's just, choose one of your songs to fill the scene out. Doesn't matter which one.
That happens a lot. So, we go to the newspaper, and the newspaper owner is so upset about how the Spice Girls are so popular and keep appearing on the pages. He's like, if I split them up, I'll sell more copies. And his anger forms a rain cloud over the other guy's head he's talking to. Like, this was immediately like what's it called? Like Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Oh, I love
like that was immediately what I thought of.
And like the IT crowd. And
all that, like that dark, weird British humor.
Oh, I love it. Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, pretty much all his shit, probably. Just his humor, probably.
I've never been afraid to hold a man's gaze. Check it out, man. I'm serious. Dude's a genius.
So, the rain cloud appears, and that's the joke. And we go to the bus, and probably the most pointless scene in the film, which is Ginger and Scary Spice argue over the rules of chess. And then we jump to a writer's meeting. Like, I was just like, what was the point of the chess scene? So we go. The writer's boss is like, here, he's gonna pitch this movie, and the writer pitches a movie to the band's manager, and they hype it up, and they're like, we're gonna do this, and it's gonna be great, and all this stuff, and the manager's like, I hate it. They're like, all right, well, we have other ideas, so here's another idea, and then they just got away from that.
Yeah, they have, what is it? It's George Wendt from Cheers.
Yes.
And Mark McKinney from Kids in the Hall.
Yes, George Wendt is the boss, and Mark McKinney is the little writer.
The very enthusiastic writer.
Yeah. So we go back to the bus. They're listening to the radio, and Baby Spice complains about how everyone treats them like a stereotype that they specifically portray. This causes a hallucination, which I guess is fine by me because they're all basically having an existential crisis and questioning their own personalities. They're questioning their own personalities. Like we're like probably 20 minutes into the film, and they're just losing themselves. Like that's how you sound when you lose yourself.
Oh shit.
They took so long to film that Eminem song. You better buy him the music. They go, nobody knows what that is, Em. Nobody knows what that is.
The editor must have been so upset. Every few bars, just blah, blah, blah.
How do I equalize the sound? It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. So yeah, that we go to a cutaway gag number 2, which is Dr. House, Hugh Laurie. He plays some famous Agatha Christie character. I don't know how to pronounce it even. Like I have no idea what it is or how to pronounce it. So he accuses Baby Spice of murder, but she smiles. And even though she's covered in guns and knives and all these other stuff, he goes, clearly it was the Catholic priest. Which,
well,
to be fair, he probably did something. So we go back to the bus, and the Spice Girls are still freaking out about the stereotypes that they portray
based on the names that they've chosen.
Yeah, 100%. So then they go to a photo shoot, and they still complain about how everyone treats them like the stereotypes that they have chosen to portray. But in order to counteract it, they suggest other stereotypes to portray, so that way they won't be treated like a stereotype.
Makes sense. I'm for it.
It fucking does. Like, what the hell's wrong with you guys? So in the middle of the shoot, they go, let's just leave. Let's go do our own thing. Their own thing apparently is also taking photos, but dressed like other arguably more famous people, like Wonder Woman and characters from Grease and Marilyn Monroe, and then also like each other.
Yeah.
Like they treat me like a baby. You know what I should do? Dye my hair red. I'll be the ginger one now.
Got him.
Yeah. I'll be the best ginger one in the group. I'll be ginger 1, you'll be ginger 2. So yeah, then that just sort of ends. And we go back to the bus, and the manager makes an announcement over the loudspeaker, and they complain. They're like, why doesn't he just tell us? Which is a valid complaint, because it turns out his office overlooks the area that they're in. Like, he could literally just kind of stand up, and he'd probably make eye contact with them. Yeah. He just takes the loudspeaker and goes, now hear this.
Well, those extra 2 or 3 seconds would put him off schedule.
God. Oh my God. How did his life get sadder? You did it. You made his life sadder. So, yes, the next stop is going to be a press party. And the girls, they go hang out with people who may or may not be famous. I'm not really sure. They seem like they might be. Like, one of the guys looks like he might be Slash. Another one of the girls looked like she might have been the star in Absolutely Fabulous. Another guy looks like he could be a soccer player. Like, I don't know if these people are people or maybe musicians. I don't know who any of these people are.
They're just stunt doubles for all those people. They're like, we couldn't get the real one, but we got the next best thing. They're standing stunt double.
We did get Jamiroquai, though. It's like, oh, yes! This is it.
You know, you just got to put him in a room with a chair and a moving floor.
Future.
He got
He's dancing out of the room.
Always. Seem to.
All right. So, the reporter has trouble getting in, but for some reason, the pregnant friend has, she's got 9 tickets. She's like, take them all! Ah! And just throws them into it. No, she's got 2 tickets for some reason. And she gives one to the reporter, and he's like, all right, that's good enough. And she comes in, and she's like, oh, Spice Girls, I've decided I want you all to be the kid's godmother, which is fucking smart. That's smart. That kid's taken care of. So, but of course, because they're talking to their friend, the Spice Girls suddenly have to do work again. And they have to go take pictures, and Nicola, that's the name of the friend, she leaves very sadly. The movie reporter guy, he's asking questions of the Spice Girls. They're like, oh, what do you think of men? And they're like, we think men should be ordered around like food. And the evil reporter is like, if only I found something terrible about them that I could report. And they're like, do you like men? I'm like, do I like men? I mean, is the Pope Catholic? Of course I like men. And he's like, I got it. They're questioning the Pope's religiosity.
They're Protestants.
Yeah, that damn Methodist Pope. And that's the spinning headline. Oh, Spice Girls question Pope's religiousness. It's like, what? Really? That's what you guys went? All right, okay, fine. No, it's a comedy. Ha 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 ha.
And then around this time, the evil news people, damn media, they get their they hire their weird freelance photographer who can pop out of everywhere.
Well, they already hired him at this point. Because...
No, I know. I saw it earlier.
Oh, I skipped that?
Yeah, I figured.
Oh. I did skip that. Well, that's not important. Even though it introduces a character that's dominant throughout the whole film, it's not important at all. Nobody cares.
Not in this film.
No, it's not. It's not. So yeah, everybody's angry about it. The manager calls up the chief, and he reads another great Confessor Rhymopolis book because it makes no goddamn sense what he says. And then he hangs up, and they're like, okay, that's great. So then they have to go to Italy at this point. And I don't know, we're probably 30 minutes into the film at this point, and I don't know, did you guys notice?
No plot.
No, well, not only that,
no plot.
There actually sort of kind of is a plot, but it's a picture on a wall in the background. Did you guys notice the schedule on the manager's wall? Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. So according to the schedule on the wall, they go to Italy Tuesday. So all this shit happened, I guess, on Monday. So that's apparently where I just to let you know we're apparently in Tuesday.
Okay, that works because I was like, how much really goes on in one day?
Well, I mean, I'll get to that a little later, but yeah, I just want to let you know that's supposedly we're at Tuesday right now. So the girls go to Italy, and the girls practice their song, and then men in underpants show up, and they have navy hats, and they're dancing all naked, and the girls are like, this is not what we agreed to, just stop this. So the manager and the Italian TV producer, they argue, and the Spice Girls, individually reject and insult every male dancer, sorry, I can't sleep with you, my bed's full of stuffed animals. What's that in his pants? Probably a sock. It's so, you're so, I'm like, what? Why do the Spice Girls have body image issues? What? Garbage. I hated it. It was terrible. They're evil. They're evil. Yeah, flip the table, I'm going home. Forget it. Podcast over. I've been triggered. So the manager and the producer almost have a fight, but the Spice Girls are like, no, it's okay, we can compromise. And we jump to the concert later that night in Italy, and the men the girls are singing, and the men show up, and they're dancing in these purple silk suits, kind of like things, and they're dancing, and they turn around, and they have their asses cut out, and they're in a thong, and they're like, what? Mm-hmm. That's the compromise, I guess. And then, fireworks go off. Yay, concert's over. They fly back home.
Crazy Italians.
What I find odd is that the manager's always so uptight, but whenever they seem to be doing a performance, is the only time when he let loose and rocks out and pumps his fist to the songs and everything.
Because he's making money. He's finally.
I guess
they're doing it.
He's happy.
They're making that money. So yeah, they fly home. For some reason, they go literally from the plane to Milan, or from Milan. They're suddenly on their bus driving through the woods, and they need to go to the bathroom. This is what we were talking about before. The bus stops, and the girls all run into the woods to go pee, because we learn that all the toilets are broken on the bus. I mean, I'm going to guess that there's at least 5. I don't know why I'm going to presume they all get their own toilet, but I am.
I would presume that.
And the manager gets one.
So 6.
Oh, that's right. There's 5 girls. I forgot. Yeah, so 6 of them. Yeah. There's probably at least 6 toilets on the bus. And they all broke down at the same time. And the excuse is that it's hard to get a plumber to a house that doesn't move.
Which makes no sense, but all right.
It also doesn't make sense because they were in Italy for an entire day. The bus could have drove to the plumber. Nope, like they didn't have to carry any Spice Girls around. That was the day off for him to do the shit to get the bus fixed that they need to do his job. Like,
but now here's the thing: being that it's a bus, do you get a plumber or do you get a mechanic?
Well, again, in a normal situation, where it's not an apartment on wheels, and it's not a gigantic apartment too, not even like a freaking small loft or something. This is a house. This is a house on wheels.
yeah.
Right? So in a normal situation where it's a bus, it's like a porta potty. And you just dump the thing out, and now it's fixed.
Yeah.
You know, you just tighten it with a wrench, and all right, you're good. But now they need a plumber because there's pipes and water mains and a whole irrigation system inside of the bus. We just need to go to the next scene.
How
'Cause
many
I'm very
buses
upset right
have
now.
you emptied
No,
out?
that's fat. There's no plumbing without pipes. You have to have pipes for there to be plumbing. Otherwise, it's just a hole into a bucket. Mm-hmm. Which is what it usually is. Like on a bus, there's just a container or
Which
whatever.
means somewhere on there they have like a giant, almost like whirlpool filtration system.
Yeah.
I can't.
Which, once again, how big do they want us to believe this bus really is?
TARDIS.
It's British, so.
That is true, though. Okay. That
all-
works.
it's fine.
I didn't think of that one.
So, yeah, the girls run out to the woods to pee. We see that the bus driver's Meatloaf. And they're like, can't you fix the toilets? And he's like, I'll do anything for these girls, but I won't do that. That's how we sound.
No.
So we go to the woods, and the girls are still walking through the woods looking for a place to pee. Like, because apparently, as per the traditional rules of Spice Girls, when you pee in the woods, you've got to walk a mile away from the road to
know that
prevent
saying.
interference with, like, wildlife. I don't understand why they're walking a day and a half into the woods.
No security guards, by the way. Follow the biggest
none.
band in the world.
Not even the bus driver. Did
He was the only security guard, and he's not even security. He's just a bus driver.
No, they had nothing.
He's the only form of protection for these 5 girls.
Listen, it was a different time. They could be out there in the woods and not.
That's true. Yeah, it's pre 9/11. It's pre 9/11 world. That's true. Anything could happen back then. Anything. So suddenly aliens show up, and despite not being able to tell a sheep from a human, they're apparently humongous fans of the Spice Girls.
I call bullshit.
Oh yeah?
All right, let me tell you something.
Okay, let's go.
Those radio waves would have only hit Alpha Centauri thousands of years later. They would have had to have. The only way those aliens are legitimate, my friends, is if they have to. Those aliens needed to have been around for so long that they had to have seen everything else before the Spice Girls. I'm talking like 50s, like Leave It to Beaver shit. Maybe they did.
Time travel.
Oh shit.
Doc Brown
Yes,
and
you got me. Reel me in.
the Black Knight.
Like
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
No, you don't want a Christopher Lloyd Martin Lawrence film? That's just me? All right, well. That's not the time travel you want?
I hate you.
Can we keep it medieval theme and just go with the kid from A Kid in King Arthur's Court? Like, no, you still don't want that? Fine. All right. Emmett Brown and Sean Connery as the dragon from Breath of Fire. Time traveling in space
Are you listening, producers?
to find
Hollywood.
Carl Sagan.
Oh man,
Gotta find the soul of Carl Sagan. Because it's made up of stardust.
it's in the.
We've gotta
eye
collect
socket
it.
of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
And we've gotta put it back together to form
Voltron.
the Mega Sagan. Yeah. The Megan. We call it. The Mega Sagan. We just call it the Megan. Bye, you. She left. So, yeah. Some other stuff's going on here, folks. The aliens, that's right. They want tickets to the concert, but they don't. So it's sold out. It's a sold out concert. So
For humans,
oh, I see. It's a race thing over here. I bet Alf would be able to get in.
Well, I mean,
It's debatable, but so they settle for an autograph and a kiss. So we go back to the manager's office, or actually we go back to the bus, and it's via like voiceover. The manager says, they're like, "Oh, what? You saw aliens? I think you might need a day off." And this is when I go, "Oh my god, okay, no, stop it," because there's a schedule on the wall. You can't make a prop and then go, "No, that prop's not real. That's just a fake prop we made for no fucking reason." So there's a board in the manager's office that has a schedule on the wall. I did the math. There's 16 pegs in the board. That's 16 hours a day. That leaves 8 hours to sleep, right?
yeah.
That makes sense, right? So in my mind, that's what that is. That's their day. It's from from 8 to midnight or whatever it is. So, and again, there's 7 rows, so it's got a Monday through Sunday, so it's definitely their schedule. There's no doubt it's definitely their schedule. I'm almost positive it says schedule right above it. Like, it's definitely their schedule.
I don't know, dude. It's kind of shady.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. So let's say that their day starts off at 9 a.m., right? Whatever, like that. So according to the schedule, on Monday, all they had scheduled was a 5-hour rehearsal starting at 4 p.m. But according to the schedule, on Tuesday, around 2, they go to Italy. So that means that what actually happened was, after completing an unscheduled and impromptu concert on Monday morning, they went to an unscheduled and impromptu press meeting all before noon, because news doesn't really happen too far. It's not. This wasn't a 4 p.m. press conference. This was at least noon, because you got to get the word out. So then on Tuesday, again, they were scheduled. What do I have here? Oh, they were scheduled for to rehearse for 5 hours at 9 a.m. and then fly to Italy for either 3 hours, because that's how long the Italy thing was, or because their schedule was free until 2 p.m. the next day, they were just supposed to hang out in Italy for a day. What they did instead, though, instead of just going to Italy for a full day, they had an existential crisis. They had an unscheduled photo shoot, followed by an unscheduled press party, which, what I'm pretty sure was no press at all, except for the one press guy that's filming a movie about them who had trouble getting into it. Except he couldn't even get into it. It's a press meeting, and the one press guy couldn't get in, right? So now Wednesday happens, and I'm confused, because Wednesday, their schedule says that they have a 3-hour party at 3 p.m. That's it. There's nothing on their schedule until 3 p.m. But the manager in this scene is like, "Oh, wow, you girls, you need a break this morning. I better call the boss and try to get a break, because the schedule says you have to work, and I gotta stop that." But the schedule's in his office, and there's nothing there, and it makes no sense. So then, the next scene after that, because he calls the chief, I think actually the chief calls him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, they can't have a break. It's not happening. The schedule's too tight. So deal with it." And he's like, "Listen, girls, you can't have the morning off. There's been a change of plans." And they're like, "No, you can't. We already had a morning off. You can't." So now I don't go, wait a minute. The Spice Girls knew they had the morning off, but for some reason, the schedule doesn't say that. And the manager has to negotiate to get the time off, even though the schedule says they already have the time off. This is the only frame of reference we have of time in this whole film, and it makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Listen, he's under a lot of stress. That's all I've got.
That's all you got. Thanks.
I was going to work in the sideburns somehow.
I just yelled for 4 hours.
Or the assistant manager.
Scared away every audience member we had. But, that's how I felt about it. They gave us math, and the math didn't add up. That's all I'm saying. That's what the summary of that story was. Is they gave us some math, and the math didn't add up, and they were like, "No, of course it does."
You know what? You're forgetting. This is from England. They have 44 hours in a day. And it's a different time zone.
Metric.
Yeah, metric system.
They run time.
Royale with cheese.
They run on metric time.
That's what happens when Scott Steiner's your math teacher.
Why is he teaching in England? Or is he teaching me?
32 and 2/3% chance.
He's teaching in England.
Get the bags. No? You don't know?
No, what is that?
You don't know Get the Bags? Oh.
Get the bags?
Get my bags.
Oh, yeah. Get the bags! Get the... I'm gonna do you an egg!
Slightly different impressions of the same person. Slightly different.
Yeah, you're doing like 92 Scott Steiner.
What?
We got like
No.
2000 Scott Steiner over here.
It's really heavy, that arm of his. That's why he had to do that with the... I don't know how to narrate doing the Scott Steiner bicep kiss, but he does it in stages. It's like, all right, moves it up an inch, then another inch, then another inch. It's getting closer to my lips now. There it is. Smooch. So, it's a heavy arm.
I can't believe Spy Kids is our most downloaded episode.
Yes!
I don't think... It must have just been that. Well, it was a fluke. There's no way they like this stuff.
I'm telling you, you should bring me on every time and have me not know the movie.
I was thinking about doing that again, and then I forgot to. It happens a lot. Like, there's a lot of things I plan, and then I don't write it down, and then I just move on with my life.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've been told by people that you've told, so I heard you didn't watch a movie on the podcast where you're supposed to watch the movie. I'm like, yes, I'm aware. It turned out okay.
I don't know who I told.
Well, your brother, for one thing. His friends, for another.
Oh, great.
My brother calling me from Scotland to tell me, by the way, I forgot to tell you, Jesse was saying that you forgot to watch this movie.
Oh, maybe I did, yeah. Yeah, it was on Facebook.
A collect call from, you dick,
Yeah.
you forgot to watch the movie.
I was trying to sell it. I was trying to be like, watch your brother act the fool on the podcast. Come check it out and get a listen. And
And everyone did.
good. I'm glad. So, I'm not sure where we were. Aliens.
Oh, no.
we're way
No,
past
no.
that. I was screaming about the schedule being not a schedule at all. It's like a corkboard of memories of like things we were going to do one day earlier, and then the schedule changed. So we're not anymore. So whatever. We're at the dance school now because they're apparently going to dance school, which is also a thing that's unscheduled. Never on the schedule appears dance lessons. They get a dance teacher that is 100% Looney Tunes. That's the best way to describe the man as a whole. He is the encompassment of Looney Tunes. He straight up mocks them when they can't dance, and then they sing-ish a song-ish, and eventually they chase him. Like, that's how the song ends. They chase him away.
Oh, England.
Which is weird. They're there to learn a choreograph, but yet they all seem to know the choreograph as soon as they're like, yeah, we're taking over. And they all know how to do the same thing.
Yeah. So that night, which,
Well, no, you skipped over the part where they're, for some reason,
what?
halfway through it turns into an obstacle course.
Oh, well, yeah, I did skip over that.
For no reason, which, what does doing an obstacle course have to do with dancing at all?
I don't know. But, yeah, they dressed him up in military garb, and they sang a military-esque, like, ba, 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 that whole thing. And then they made him go through, like, tires and a tube, and I think over a wall, and...
Yeah, and swing on a rope.
So, they went through boot camp suddenly.
Yeah.
Suddenly, dance school was boot camp.
Yeah, very odd.
I couldn't, like, it had to, there must have been a gas leak at the concert at the start of this film, because I can't pinpoint when they die in this movie, and the rest of it is just like a death hallucination dream, because that's the only way the aliens and, like, all this other shit makes sense. Like, they must, I mean, maybe it's not a death hallucination. Maybe this film is a stress hallucination.
Well, it makes sense towards the end when the big reveal happens,
What?
if you think about it. And we'll get to it.
Okay.
Well, maybe it already happened. Did they really get to Italy?
There's no indication that the plane crashed, but yeah, maybe.
Technically, they never got to Italy, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Not to blow everyone's
Oh my
mind.
gosh, okay. So yeah, we're halfway to the film finally, and the girls go to sleep in like the spooky dance school mansion, and the evil, terrible photographer guy sneaks up through the toilet, and this wakes up the girls, and they sneak around the house, and eventually they all cower in one bed together, and they share all their nightmares and fears, and the bad man gets it on tape and twists it into something else. And the next day, the manager is throwing knives at the newspaper article about them, which I was like, holy jeez, like, oh,
He's slowly becoming unhinged completely.
yeah, 100%. At the end, yeah, yeah, he is. You're right. So yeah, the Spice Girls are outside in a rainbow harem, and they tell the manager to just chill out. And Jerry gives, because she did this earlier when they were all just shouting their stereotypes, she gives a weird animal fact, because that's the wild. She's like, I'm smart, so here's a fact about, did you know that the manta ray, did you know that this animal...
Which she was wrong about the manta ray, but that's a different question.
So is Steve Irwin.
That wasn't even... Whatever.
Right?
No.
Yeah, he was.
Right, guys?
He was wrong about it, but that wasn't a very good joke.
That was an amazing joke.
No, I disagree.
Oh, why? Because he's dead?
No, because I just don't think it was
was
set
out of
up very
context.
well. I think you kind of forced it.
Yeah, I forced that out of my mouth. In the
Yeah, the air wouldn't come out. So I went,
I thought it was.
Steve Irwin.
Oh, that gets it. Yeah, that kills. That kills. Really?
Because it was an exaggerated personification of your attempt to make a joke.
Don't describe personification wrong in my presence. Are you kidding me right now?
I just keep throwing big words at you.
No, you're. Ugh.
Don't onomatopoeia me.
Don't encourage him. Continue.
So, yeah, right. We go back to the writers. And, well, I'm not sure if we go back to the writers or there's a second meeting with the writers and the manager where they're in the same location and he's pitching a movie called Spice Force 5. And they each have a skill, and each skill is, like, less of a skill and more of a questionable action.
Yeah.
And the manager suggests that we do some reality after that. So we cut to reality. And the movie reporter guy is interviewing some kids, and he just barely cares about it. And then we jump to the bus, and we learn that these kids are the winners of a competition. Oh, the competition winners. Schedule says that this happens on Thursday, so it might be Thursday now.
Now, what is it? The kids make a comment which make me wonder if they're kids or if they're just midgets. Because they complain about how they being treated like children. So are they children then?
That's a good point.
No.
Are they midgets?
No, it's
That's an
just
amazing
more
point.
idiocy of like, why do people treat us exactly the way we are and who we are? Like, why are us kids treated like kids, honestly?
Well, that's almost like making fun of what they were getting across in the movie that wasn't a joke. You know what I mean? Like, why are they calling me Baby Spice? Because you're a baby. Because you act like a baby. Like, why are they calling me Scary Spice? Because I act scary. And you understand what I'm saying? No. I'll fucking leave. I'll fucking go. All right?
Oh, you want to go? Let's go. That's what I heard. I heard you wanted to go. The other part of that I understood. Let's fight. We're robots.
They're going to throw it down, people.
Are we going to...
BattleBot style.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to talk about how there was no competition that I remember?
Oh, yeah. What did they do?
It's like, these kids are the winners. Of what? Of what? These kids just showed up and they get kidnapped 2 seconds later.
Yeah, they win the being kidnapped contest. They're the easiest to be kidnapped in all of England. How did they win? We kidnapped them. They seemed to be fine with it the whole time.
Another thing that I thought was weird about this movie was they kept going back and forth between they're the biggest band in the world. So then if they're the biggest band in the world, why do they need all these training? And it seems like they're doing these things for like the first time. And then it's like, we're going to finally get this new, this new stuff. And we're recording with this new band. We're going to be the biggest band in the world.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it makes it seem like they're just coming up and they're a band who's known, but it's coming up. But they're not, because they're the biggest fucking band in the world.
See, that's the weird thing about them is they literally formed in 1995. Like, they've only been around, because this is 97. Mm-hmm. It's like their first year, and then they're doing this movie.
Yeah,
So they are still kind of new. Like, I don't know. Do you guys know how far into the Beatles A Hard Day's Night was made?
What was that
65?
60?
No, 67. Yeah, 67, 68.
So when did the Beatles form?
Beatles formed about 64.
So they had 3-4 years under their belt before they debuted with their hit single album, the Wannabe, whatever it was. That was their first song, and they debuted in what was it, like 96, like December of 96.
Yeah.
So like this is their first year. They ended their first year filming this movie. So, I mean, it's right. They are both incredibly new and don't know what they're doing, but are also so famous that people went, yeah, we'll give you a movie.
Yeah.
What's it about? Literally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're that famous. Mm-hmm. Fart on a snare drum for 5 hours.
Oh, Pip.
I ain't farting on no snare drum. Airheads is great. So... yeah, the girls kidnap the kids because they want to be spontaneous, and they put them on a boat.
I love that fucking excuse. You're my kid now. Woo, spontaneous.
You don't just do that. You don't just steal kids, put them on a boat.
Why wouldn't you,
Well, yeah, why wouldn't you? Exactly.
What else are you going to do with them?
That's the real question here, is why wouldn't you steal kids and put them on a boat?
I have no answer for that.
Yeah. Here's the real question. When's the last time you stole a kid and put him on a boat?
I mean, I don't have access to...
Oh, so you know nothing about this subject. You don't even have the right to comment on it.
Well, all right, here's the thing. What was I going to finish that sentence with? Boats or kids? What don't I have access to?
I'm just going to guess all of them. I mean, to be fair, I keep mine in the same warehouse. Boats, kids, same warehouse.
I got a whole bunch of both in my backyard.
I got a shed just brimming with them. I don't know what to do with them. I'm trying to give them away on Craigslist. Nobody's buying.
I can't keep all of them in the shed, so some of them get in the rain. Most of the kids.
I gotta be honest. Some of them migrate into my basement now. I can't do it.
The kids are dead. They're not migrating anywhere. They're dead. The kids have been dead since they became in your custody. The kids they've been deceased.
To be fair, they were alive when I got them. I'm not familiar with childcare. I figured shed, and they'd do the rest,
I just kept pouring water on them and yelling osmosis. It didn't work.
It didn't, no. Suffice to say, long story short.
Until I poured a bunch of water in the kids and made them a boat. Once they became buoyant,
Oh, let me tell you. The day I figured out how to make boats out of kids, a godsend. Oh, my goodness. My ex-wife, she tried to come back to me. Oh, shoved that right in her face. The boats, not the kids.
We are off the rails. We are off the rails.
Oh, man. So, it's because we fell off the boat into the water. Just like those kids.
Murder.
Shooting myself. So, yeah, everyone's super casual about Spice Girls stealing kids. The manager and the female assistant finally have an interaction so we can set up something later. We only need one scene to set it up.
Oh, yeah.
The boat makes a hard turn, and the kids and Posh Spice falls out. Sporty Spice dives in after them to save them. The reporter, movie maker guy, he also gets knocked in off of his boat because he was in a boat following them. He gets knocked off by his crew into the water.
Does he really get knocked off, or does the black guy really just go, all right, you're being annoying, get up.
Yeah, his crew was a little sick of him by that point.
Get off, go away.
100%. I don't know why, but I kept this reporter crew thing. I was just like, this reminds me so much of Street Fighter. You got the one black cameraman, you got the fat guy who does the sound, and then you got the skinny reporter. And I was like, that's Chun-Li and Balrog, and that's them. This whole movie is clearly a ripoff of Street Fighter. Clearly,
I would
without any doubt.
Freaking. Oh, I would love it if somehow...
Scary Spice is Ryu. You got no... Actually, Scary Spice would be Guile, because the hair.
But for me, it was Tuesday.
That's Posh Spice, right? Who's that?
Oh yeah, Posh Spice.
Posh Spice and Bison.
This Gucci dress levitates me. And then it just starts flying like a Christmas tree. And the boots are the same boots.
Same. Because they all wear platform boots, so it wouldn't even matter. It would be,
Oh my god. Well.
So, what happens?
Well,
Everyone
Albert Hall.
just is suddenly safe. They're all fine, despite falling. Everyone's fine. They fell in the water. Nobody gets hurt. Everyone's fine. And the evil photographer shows up, and he's like, I'm going to spin this into, well, actually the absolute truth. I'm not going to spin it all. I'm just going to show you people what happened, and you'll be horrified. Like, I thought it was so fucking...
That was me. That was I was doing an impression of someone lazily trying to spin a newspaper.
That look that way.
But I didn't tell any of you. I just did it, and it came out. Yeah.
It was like if your dog was like, let's play, and you threw a frisbee, but not very well. And the dog, it was like so bad the dog didn't even go after it.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh. I was going to feel like a fool if it wasn't.
You're a fool!
So, yeah, oh wait, actually, I did want to say that I was like, this poor fucking photographer, because the guy's gotta sneak through a toilet, right, and misquote the girls to get a fake story, right, and meanwhile, in real life, they're talking to aliens and kidnapping children, but this guy's still gotta put a scuba suit on to catch a story that you could have caught from a bridge, like not even in the river, because like the manager was a mile away and he saw everything. He saw the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the evil reporter, he's got to rent equipment and go underwater and like stalk them, probably with a harpoon gun for no reason. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, kids running down the street could just take out their phone and get a better scoop than he could. Thanks for the laughs, guys. So, we go to Albert Hall rehearsal, because they got to rehearse. But there's no rehearsal. The manager and the Spice Girls are just arguing about responsibility. And they argue into, well, maybe we just won't show up for tomorrow. And the manager's like, oh, go for it. Go ahead. And he's like, oh, no. Because they leave. They're like, fine. They all leave. And he's like, I think I may have just broken up the Spice Girls. And then he screamed very dramatically, ah! Super dramatic. Also, lights turn on. Like, I wasn't sure if the lights were supposed to, like, mask the sound of his scream. I don't know what the lights turning on was supposed to be. So we go to a bar. The manager calls the chief, who in this scene is when I first noticed it, that he has a miniature pet pig. And I went, wait, how often has that been changing? And I had to do it the second time I paid attention to it. And he's like, how bad are things? And he's like, well, it's not terrible. And he's like, well, don't be a headless chicken because they can't see where they're going.
That's true.
It's probably the most famous Confessor Rhymopolis quote that there's ever been. And of course, the evil photographer hears all this and he takes a photo of it. So now people know that the Spice Girls might be breaking up. Or that they might not be showing up for a show. And we go to the newspaper, and the owner hears about this, and he's like, what's wrong with my face? I'm happy! Ah, hallelujah! Hallelujah! The scenes with the newspaper owner, they're like the only scenes that are hilarious in this movie. They're golden. Is that sexism? I don't know. So we get this like flashbacky scene where Ginger Spice is watching a sad movie, and then she remembers earlier times when the girls were younger and just starting out. What do you got?
No, I have some thoughts. I didn't want to interrupt you, but
go ahead.
They start talking about the shop owner and when they first were coming up. Right?
First they have the flashback where they go to the shop and their friend is there, not pregnant, and she's like, sing this song, shop owner, or listen to their song, and they sing, and it's their famous song, but like it's missing. It doesn't have like the backbeat. It's like there's something missing. There's not all the lyrics are there. It's just like the early version of it, and then suddenly they all go to the real old shop. It's all boarded up. They're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe we're here." Like, "Oh, well, this is you can't go back. You can't go back to the past." And they go, "Hey, I wonder whatever happened to that shop owner. Hey, don't we owe him money?" They're like, "Yeah, let's go to a different shop now."
And he's never talked about again.
No! Literally, that's how it is. They're like, "Man, remember that guy? He used to feed us and he listened to our songs."
The dude was the legitimate, like, their surrogate father. The
Yeah,
dude was
like
their
he used to
surrogate
take care
father.
of, he showed us like support and enthusiasm. Don't we owe him like 30 cents? Oh my god, let's leave town.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is that funny because then as they're walking away, they're arguing over who has to pay when they go to wherever they're going next for coffee.
Which leads me to think that they just don't pay for anything at all, and they've just been
I gotta be honest,
skipping the bill for years.
I was upset when the toilets broke, because I was like, how do you not get toilets broke? Or how do you not get toilets fixed with Spice Girl money? Like, that shouldn't even be a problem. But then they're complaining about who pays, and I'm like, oh, maybe they spent all their money on the tour. Like, it's one of the... I've known bands who are like, oh, we're a record label, we're gonna give you $60,000 to go on tour. And they're like, you know, there's 2 weeks left in the tour, and they're out of money. They're out of cash, because they haven't recouped anything yet. So I'm like, maybe that's how the Spice Girls are. Maybe they've already spent all their the money that the record label fronted them, and they've got nothing. Or maybe the manager just has... He's got such a tight leash on it. He's like, no, you didn't even get the extra dollar for like to Biggie size it. You didn't even get to Biggie size it.
No.
What's like the British? Because if they do like quarter pounder, the low royale, what's Biggie size? Is that like, you know?
Well, they still have the Big Mac.
The enlargenizer. I had to create it. I'll get the enlargenizer. Make everything bigger.
So upset with you.
Good. I'm glad.
Because the way he sets it up too, he's like, all right, let me bust this out. Like you were like adjusting your chair. You were
I
like,
got
get
one,
ready.
guys. Hang on.
Here
Let
it
me-
comes.
Let me square my feet, dig my heels into the dirt.
The enlargesizer.
The enlargesizer. You put more energy into getting ready for the setup than you did the actual punchline of the fucking joke, guy. Who's now criticizing his own joke. So the girls are eating on a park bench, and they're thinking about the future. And we get another cutaway gag where we go to court, where a judge sentences them to foreign reruns because their last album was garbage. And that's it. Yay, haha! It's like, why? There wasn't... Whatever. Oh, excuse me, no. The punchline was how they pronounced Hootie and the Blowfish.
Howdy.
Howdy. Oh, bring in Howdy and the Blowfish. He pronounced it so much clearly like howdy. I was like, maybe that's a thing, and I had to look it up. It's not. It's definitely...
It's not a thing.
It's not a thing. Though I was confused, because they said in the American version, he says Howdy and the Blowfish. And I was like, what? So what does it say in the British? Couldn't find it. Couldn't find what it says in the British version. Like, in the British version, he's like, oh, bring in Hootie and the Blowfish. There's no accent. It's fine. So, yeah, we go back to the park, and they decide, oh, you know what we should do? We should take our incredibly overdue pregnancy-wise friend out for a crazy night clubbing.
Yeah.
Because we're the most responsible people in the world. I can't believe this woman made them all collectively godmother. Like, that kid is dead. Even before the mother is. So we go to a different bar that we've never seen before. A new bar. And... Nope, I lied. Sorry. We go to the same old bar that the manager was at before. The same bar. And the female assistant joins him. And they're like, oh, it could be worse. Or she's like, it could be worse. And he's like, no, it's terrible. Everything's garbage. We're going to get drunk. And she's like, well, I guess the only thing left to do is get drunk and then have mistakenly sex with each other. And he's like, oh, that's fine by me. Like, she was like, well, I guess the only thing to do now is to get drunk and have sex. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I was like, that's not a wink, wink. You literally just asked me to have sex.
Yeah.
Which
It's not.
Which is then weird because then when he agrees that they should do it and that he's game for it, doesn't she end up putting like a look of disgust? Like,
She's like, oh my, I had no idea. Ooh,
Well, I never.
I was born in the country.
I can't believe he was able to crack that Da Vinci Code she was laying down. that subtle rap of let's have sex.
It's that sort of intellect that got him to be the manager of the Spice Girls. That was all the. Well, how many years have you been managing? Oh, 10, 13, 2. Oh, okay. Well, it's maybe not the 2 guy. Get rid of him. All right. So, what's the most famous actor you ever managed? Oh, Milli Vanilli. Oh, I've done the Rolling Stones. I've done. Oh, okay. Get rid of that Milli Vanilli guy. Get rid of that. I forgot where the joke was going now. Forget it. Joke's over. I forgot where it's going. So. Yes, now we go to a new bar, a new club that we've never seen before.
New.
We get that new. And the Spice Girls take their very pregnant friend, who is so pregnant, she literally has to hold her stomach while she walks. That's how pregnant she is. They take her to a very loud and very popular and also incredibly diverse nightclub. I don't know, did you guys notice the patrons? Like, everyone was at this club. There was, like, the club kids who were like, oh, I got the glow sticks, let's dance. And there was, like, the regular, like, white-collar people like, oh, I finished my office job, let's go dance. They got, like, they popped their collar.
Things are very different over there.
They got, like, super posh people who, like, just came there to drink and, like, not even there. They have, like, people who dressed like they're in the 80s. Mm-hmm. People had Jerry curls and stuff like that. They had people who looked like they were from the cast of Mad Max. They also had people who looked like they were from the cast of Blade. They also had people who looked like they were contestants on RuPaul's Drag Race. They had everybody. Everybody was in this club. The whole world was in this club.
See, but what I find weird is that they've proven and showed that, everyone loves the Spice Girls. They go crazy for the Spice Girls. But everyone in this club can give two shits that they're there.
Yeah, they're dancing on tables and stuff like that. Yeah. And then see, this is another problem I have is I wasn't sure now because did the Spice Girls go to a club and the club was like, oh my God, the Spice Girls are here? Let's play Spice Girls music.
I think it was a coincidence, that it just so happened.
See, that's my other question, though. Was it the music playing in the club, or is this further part of the Spice Girls hallucination where they can only hear their own music? Right? Because that would phase back to the kids. Why were the kids listening to the Spice Girls? No, they weren't. They were listening to their own music. But the Spice Girls can only hear Spice Girls music.
I want to talk about that. I have a theory.
All right, I'm done. Go.
You want to know if we want to save it for the end?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're saving it for the end.
All right.
Just remind me, because I won't remember it.
Okay, you're going to elaborate on that? Okay.
Good job.
Why? Where else do you have to put it in?
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. Like in the butt? Yeah, there it is.
In the mouth.
Watch this become the fucking most popular, most downloaded episode.
I will fucking hate everyone and I will know nothing about the world if this becomes
This huge guy's hilarious.
So where else do you have to insert your talk?
When the movie becomes a movie within a movie.
Within a movie?
Oh, okay, all right.
We'll get there.
So, yeah, their friend starts giving birth in the club, and they put their birthing lady on a gigantically slow bus that probably can't go through most of the tunnels in town. Like, they definitely took the most roundabout way.
Being how that bus has its own zip code, I'm pretty sure that thing's going like 10 miles an hour.
Yeah. This is a bus with ladders. Like, that's what I'm talking about, folks. All right? So the Spice Girls get their friend to the hospital, and they're going, push, push, push! And the nurse comes in, and she's like, what are you doing? The baby isn't going to be born for like 9 hours. You're going to kill it. Stop. So while the Spice Girls are waiting, as we said before, some random couple walks up to them, and they're like, our kid's in a coma. Could you just, knock him out of it? And they're like, yeah, duh. And they walk in, and they're like, what do we do? And they're like, I don't know, show him your boobs. And they're like, his eyes are closed. He wouldn't even do anything. And then his eyes open, and that means he's out of the coma.
He's dead now.
There was the death sign. So we go to Albert Hall and the hospital. We keep getting this back and forth between Albert Hall and the hospital. The manager wants the female assistant, Deborah, to find the Spice Girls. She calls them. They're at the hospital, but they won't come until the baby comes. The manager starts losing his shit. After a whole bunch of waiting, the pregnant friend is like, listen, this is stupid. You guys can't wait here forever. Just leave. And they're like, no, we're not going to leave until the baby gets born. And then she's like, okay, here it comes. Ah! And then immediately starts giving birth, like on cue. And the manager, we go back to the manager, he's freaking out about them not being there. And the movie filmer, reporter, Alan Cummings' character, he's filming it all. The writers show up again, and they're like, we got another movie to pitch to you. What do you think? And he's like, there's nothing else going on. Fine, whatever. So the baby's born, the girls leave, but they run into the evil photographer, and we cut to the writer at Albert Hall. He's telling the story about, as it happens, he's telling the story, and it's going in, and he's like, oh, and then the girls, they catch the bad guy, and he turns into a good guy because of the power of girl power, and he immediately apologizes. And then he turns side, and he starts to being evil against the newspaper owner. And then, as per the rules of writing a movie, there's a chase scene now. That's not a chase scene, it's actually more of a race scene, but whatever, fine. And the Spice Girls steal a bus because Meatloaf, the bus driver, is just sleeping in a nearby field. Like, he's just taking a nap in a field somewhere.
Not necessarily sleeping, because he at least is, knows that they stole his bus.
Oh, that's true.
Which, who leaves a bus with the keys in there?
Yeah, like...
Much less a bus that's actually a city. This thing is gigantic.
This bus is getting bigger and bigger.
Well...
So the Spice Planet, it's being driven around London. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in one scene, or maybe 2 or 3 scenes, they show you the front of the bus, and it says Spice Bus number 19. Did you guys notice that? I was like, holy crap, 19 Spice buses. What happened to every other Spice bus? Oh, I know now. Victoria would just steal Posh Spice. She just steals buses all day.
They're all for her dresses.
They just, they're all like on a caboose train. They follow.
They're linked together. Absolutely.
So, the rules of writing say that now they're suddenly on top of the bus, and everyone's slipping, and they're fishtailing, and then suddenly, they all fall back in the bus, and the rules say that they have to jump the bus on a drawbridge, and then suddenly, because of the rules, there's a bomb on the bus, and this is when the boss's writer is like, I'm sick of the rules, and he starts choking the writer to death. He's like, the manager's like, just give me an ending. Just give me an ending. And the writer's like, okay. So they jump it, and they get here, and then they show up, and they walk to the door. And nobody walks to the door, so the manager's like, I hate it. And he starts trying to kill the writer. And then the writer's like, I'll rewrite it. So we jump to the outside the building, and the police arrive, and they're like, no, Spice Girls, you're not getting in this building because you had reckless driving and endangerment of the public and blah, 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 all this other stuff. And they're like, do your thing, baby Spice. And she's like, what thing? I don't have a thing. And then she's just like, oh, tee-hee, ting. And she smiles, and her teeth, tee.
Yeah, that was after their attempt of having Ginger and Posh Spice kind of like step out and show cleavage. Kind of like, yes, we're very attractive women. That's not going to happen? No. Baby, go ahead. You do your thing now.
Equalization of the sexes. You know, like how when a man puts his crotch out and all women go, oh, God, yeah! That's what we want, equalization. So when we put our tits out, they do the same thing.
I just want this podcast to be 2.5 hours of you just saying tits in an English accent.
Tits. Titties.
Oh, this thing's about to go tits up.
The girls get inside because Baby Spice gets him out of trouble. Just as the manager says that, here's what's going to happen. It's my favorite part. I'm going to go out there. We're going to turn on the lights. I'll walk center stage. And then I'll hang myself. I was like, holy Jesus Christ. And just as he's like, the Spice Girls, I fucking hate you. That's when the Spice Girls show up. And they're like, let's go, let's do the thing. And they all like, where's my dress and where's my thing? And I had to look it up because I think Scary Spice, she goes, where's the Bacon Buddies or something like that, or Bacon Budgies. And I looked it up. Bacon Buddies is literally a butter roll with bacon on it.
Sounds amazing.
And that's the sandwich. That's a sandwich in Britain.
Interesting.
Just
very simple.
Just a carbohydrate. Just grease and fat in between bread.
Stop selling it, baby. You got me.
It's like the original, like a double down, like a reverse, because you got the breading, and then there's the meat, and then you butter it.
I think he just buttered his own bread over there.
Baby, I'm gonna butter your bread.
So yeah, the girls, they what do they do? Oh, they show up, right? They show up. They're like, we're here to do a thing. And then we cut to behind the stage, like later, and the manager tries to apologize to the female assistant, but then he gets interrupted by his phone. And the girls, they go out to perform, and the writer and the manager, and they all look on from a box seat. And they're like, yeah, we'll do the movie, which is so weird because you have the manager is backstage with the Spice Girls. Cut to the manager in a different part of backstage with his assistant. Cut to the manager in a box seat in the crowd with the writer. Like, I was just like, what is happening? They were just like, cut this shit and print it. Like, I don't care. So, yeah, the girls, they perform. Everybody's dancing, and like we go back to, we see like the newspaper chief, he's dancing, and like the chief of the band, like the whatever, the record label, everybody's dancing to the song. Yeah, we're all dancing concert. We get credits. There's like this weird fake behind the scenes thing. You guys saw this, right? You stuck around for that. Yeah, where like all the actors are pretending to play stereotyped versions of their real life selves. Where, like, the evil photographer guy, he's like, I don't want to hate the Spice Girls. I like the Spice Girls. People will think I'm angry and violent. And he starts pushing Mark McKinney violently. And Mark McKinney's like, I'm just Mark McKinney. I don't know what's going on. And then, like, other people come in. They're like, you were in that show. Oh, you were in that thing. Oh, I love your songs. Oh, yeah, it's great. And all that stuff. And then the Spice Girls talk to Graydon, the character, the writer, like the guy who was writing the movie throughout, the character played by Mark McKinney, they talk to him as if he's a real person, when also Mark McKinney, dressed differently, was in an earlier part of the same scene. It was just, I couldn't understand what they were going for, especially because then they break the fourth wall by literally looking at the camera and go, what? People are watching us?
Oi!
Oh, what, you snogging? I like your dress in the third row. What, I can't believe. Then they break, like, the fifth wall, I guess. And they start going through time because they're like, oh, but you know what else? I think some people might be watching this on telly. What? Was there nothing else on the telly? You suck for watching our movie. I was like, what is happening? And they go, but you know what they're thinking right now, don't you? And I go, no, I have no idea what I'm thinking right now anymore. And they go, what happened to the bomb on the bus? What? Wait, there was a bomb on the bus? Like, I 100% forgot that there was a bomb on the bus.
That's because the only reason you knew is because they said there's a bomb on the bus, and then they reacted to it, and then that was it.
Yeah, like...
there was nothing else.
And that's how the movie ends. Oh, the bus blew up.
So the bus blew up.
Yeah! Not even in the movie. In real life, the bus blew up. That was the indication there at the end.
So there's a terrorist attack at the end
yes!
of this.
Yes!
But do you understand why I'm going insane? There's a movie within a movie, but that movie is within a movie. Right?
I think so.
And so when you're talking about how everyone's listening to the music, it's because it's in the music in the movie that's within the movie.
Oh my God.
Does this make sense?
No.
The whole thing, bear with me, the whole thing is the movie, so what we're seeing is...
The movie Spice World.
Right.
Is not about the Spice Girls going through London and dealing with their
these
day.
things, yeah.
It is a story about how the story Spice World came to be created.
Okay.
And furthermore, or less more,
It's also
those writers were like, I don't know what else to do in this movie, so let's throw us into it.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how we're in there. And that's it.
it's how the story was written. It's a story about how a story was written and then filmed.
And then them talking about the... I need some time, guys.
It's a really, like, I don't know, I genuinely... There's, like, 3 universes in one film. Like, it's a super meta film.
It's really deep, but it's not trying to be deep. Like, Christopher Nolan's doing Inception, and he's like, they're never going to understand this. And it's deep, and he had to come out and say, like, this is what the end of the movie is, and this is what all these things mean. He did that a couple years ago and pissed everyone off.
Yeah.
This movie is like, Spice Girls are great. We're just going to do another, like, Hard Day's Night or Help It or, you know, Yellow Submarine. We're going to do one, or, like, Here's the Monkeys. We're going to do one of those movies.
Yeah.
But accidentally just created the deepest fucking rabbit hole since The Matrix on acid.
They actually created Donnie Darko and, like... yeah. All right, so whatever. That was the film. Or the film about the film. I don't know what it was, but that was it. It's over now.
That was the films.
Films is. Yeah, so, could you guys make a sequel?
Fuck no, and I tried for 2 days since you told Laura, a day and a half since you told me.
Yeah.
I got other people to try and help me.
No, you couldn't.
Nothing.
You know what it is because I've been doing this for long enough. Sometimes you can't think that hard. Sometimes you have to go with just a basic stupid idea and try to elaborate on that. So what I have, which is exactly what you said, which is there wasn't really enough of a story to make a sequel. So how do you make a sequel? So I thought about that. I was like, okay, what's the story? The Spice Girls dealing with their life. And also their friend's pregnancy. So, okay, that's what we're doing then. The sequel to this movie is about how the friend's baby has grown up and now wants to be a Spice Girl. All right? But they're gonna take her under their wing and show her what it's like to be a famous person and why she shouldn't do it, while also rediscovering themselves through another potential breakup.
Okay.
Right?
I like it.
It's basic enough and just generic enough that it could work.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
The kid is Asian.
Sure.
Wants to be a Spice Girl.
Sure.
Right? I got a name for that Spice Girl.
Is it Allspice?
No, it's MSG.
No. Get out. Yep, get out. That's not even a spice, I don't think.
Right?
MSG?
Isn't it?
No, I don't
think it's a
believe it's
flavor.
yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's a flavor like other flavors.
Yeah.
Like vanilla extract?
No.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna.
Yeah. All right. I think my allspice joke was better. Oh no, it's not allspice.
You're thinking of Old Spice?
No, I'm thinking of Five Spice. That's what I was thinking of.
Five Spice.
Five Spice. It's a spice.
It's a
thing.
gum.
No, it's literally. That's Five Gum. That's different. Five Spices is like, you know how like Spanish people are like, I want to make Spanish food. What should I put in it? Oh, this adobo powder. Like, and that's it. Five Spice is like the Asian people version of what am I going to make? Oh, I'll just make it's now it's Chinese food because I put Five Spice in it.
Okay.
It's the same shit. Yeah. It's fun. They got a lot of those different. Like it's just you take the bottle and dump the powder on it, and you go. Now it's Colombian food. Now it's Puerto Rican food. Now it's
Puerto Rican food is so good.
Filipino
food is so good.
All Puerto Rican food is whatever you want to eat, doused in adobo.
That's pretty much Spanish food. It's sazon and adobo.
Yeah,
I'm for it.
Yeah, saffron and yeah, that's it. Adobo. That's it. It's good shit though.
It is.
Don't get me wrong. Eat it all day, but. All right, so yeah, let's. Mr. Money, do you have a sequel?
Yes, actually, because mine would actually pull a little bit from the real life when Ginger Spice ends up leaving. Mm-hmm. So the sequel would start off with them explaining that she left the band.
That's fine because I'll say it now. That happened 6 months after this movie came out.
That's what I figured. I figured it happened almost quickly.
Yeah.
So then, which
is why I wanted to point out why us making a sequel would have definitely lost money because we lost one of the Spice Girls, so we would have been fucked. Sorry. So, but,
No, that's fine. So then, whatchamacallit, sequel would be them trying to find a fifth Spice Girl to replace Ginger, only to find out that every time they come close to choosing one, someone happens to kill their choices.
Oh my god!
Yeah!
Can I get a sample scene?
I don't have a sample scene.
I'm sorry.
Is it just a straight up horror movie, or is it also comedic in that they also get killed in a way that's like reflective of their spice name?
That's gotta
I
depend
guess
on
we
the
could
content.
do that, but I wasn't going that route.
In Europe, it's a straight up horror movie. In America, this shit is hilarious.
Only to be revealed that it was Ginger all along killing.
It was me, Austin.
Exactly. Because she did not want to be replaced.
The Ginger one. The only one smart enough and evil enough to get away with
She
murder.
could pull that off, yeah.
Only one capable of it. Okay, great sequels. So, Naked in Math Class. You guys ready to answer some questions, I hope?
Yeah.
Okay. How many times do we see the Spice Girls sing in this movie?
I'm going to channel a Spice fan, super fan that I know. 11.
Mr. Money.
8.
8. The correct answer is none, because all the Spice Girls songs are scat and improvised. They're all just like, skee-ba-lee-ba-dee-ba-doo. To be fair, though, the correct answer actually is 8, so Mr. Money.
Oh, shit!
That actually was 8. Because I felt bad after I was like, what if somebody gets the number right? What if they dead on and we don't know? All right, so next is, how many famous people make cameos in this movie?
Okay.
This is how many famous people according to Me, an American.
All right, so so this is just a cameo, not a full character that's in multiple scenes.
Yeah, Meatloaf doesn't count because he has several scenes and he has lines and stuff like that.
I kind of thought he did count because they made him do his line. You know, did the Meatloaf line. Like, that's a cameo line. They were like, we need to find and explain why.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't include it in the answer. So.
All right, fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't have included in me then, Mila.
Can we brainstorm this and then give you an answer as a team?
Well, whatever. I guess if that's not what's been done before.
All right, we had
Breaking
Jimmy
rules.
McNulty from The Wire is the photographer, who from that one scene.
Right.
Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
With Jerry Halliwell's voice.
Yeah.
House.
The judge was someone famous too. I can't remember.
Stephen Fry.
That's his name.
Right?
Yeah.
Stephen Fry's pretty big here. Well, he's getting there. Fuck.
See, my guess was going to be 5.
Well, yeah, you said according to you, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going with 5 also.
I had 6. But that's because I added George Wendt and forgot that he was a character and not a cameo.
All right.
You're 2 for 2, Danny.
And but the one you guys missed was Elvis Costello.
Oh,
yes. When does he make it?
He was the bartender.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Okay, and finally, this one is a little rough. How many people did this movie kill?
Well, if we're talking about how a bus blew up in the middle of London, and that bus is the size of
London.
I'm guessing about 5 million people.
It killed London. It killed all of London.
Yeah, all of London died in the real universe.
So London has fallen then.
London Bridge
Oh no.
had fallen down after. That wasn't a joke. I was just playing off what you.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna go with 5 million? Is that what you're?
I'm gonna go with 5 million.
Money.
10 people.
10 people. Unfortunately, the very real life answer, kind of real life answer, is 2 to 3 because in this film, jokes were made about both Princess Diana and Gianni Versace, the designer, and they both died before this film was released. So they're like, let's cut those scenes out. Yikes. I have no idea where the Princess Diana joke was, but when they do the press conference, not the press conference, the press party where there's no press, there's this very blonde woman, like a posh blonde woman who kind of looks like she might have been a character on AdFab, talking to Posh Spice. Her shirt says Versace on it,
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe that's where the Gianni Versace joke could have been in that scene.
And then I think the Princess Diana joke could have been when they were passing the whatchamacallit,
The palace.
Yeah, there
and
we
they
go.
were
The
like,
palace.
"Oh, hello, Harry."
hello, William, yeah.
Okay,
They were saying
that
hi to
makes
the
sense.
family.
Yes, so that's 2, and the third one may have been, which is that there was supposed to be a 4-minute cameo by the British glam rocker Gary Glitter,
Oh well.
but he was arrested for child porn.
Yes, he was.
And he was recently convicted for like 16 years.
Now, my question is, if you're in jail, right now, Gary Glitter will get royalties forever because in America, his song is used in every sporting event ever. It's hey,
Billionaire.
but like that
I'm
song's
surprised
used.
he couldn't just buy the prison. Like,
Just buy the kids.
He probably does. You heard it here from Huge.
yeah.
Don't want to
buy
get
'em.
caught? You just buy kids.
Look, that's what the Spice Girls taught us. You should be able to just buy men. Why not just be able to buy kids, right?
Right?
Hey, they made kidnapping kids seem so easy. You just need a boat.
This is a pedophilic movie, huh? Let's not joke
But
about it.
yeah, so my question was, does he collect those royalties? Like in Monopoly, you don't collect on your shit while you're in jail.
I think it goes in like an escrow account or something like that, doesn't it, or something? Or...
Probably.
You're a banker. You tell me.
He just
I'm
plays
not a
it on-
lawyer.
He just plays it on TV, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, what channel?
Channel 5.
Telemundo.
I was going to say Univision. I'm like, no.
No, Univision's for snobs.
I'm after Jojo Mattis.
That's not on Univision. Wait, is Sábado Gigante on Univision?
They canceled that like a year ago.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It's been out since before I was born.
I know.
Heart attack!
Corazon! I don't know how to say attack.
I didn't know how many were listening to speak Spanish, so.
Ataque.
Oh, wow. I thought it'd be like racist if I was like Ataco or Atake.
Well,
But I
it would
guess I
have
wasn't.
been if she said a taco.
Yeah.
Oh, Ataco.
Taco.
Not a taco.
No.
Well,
So, why was this film made, huh?
oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
is this
know.
your podcast? Go ahead then. No, but it was. I think we already kind of answered it. It's just kind of just luck and fame. Like these people were insanely famous
Biggest thing, like, on Earth.
since sliced bread.
I think, like, if you had seen, I know you have, like, the Beatles had a bunch of movies like this where it's like, all right.
Holy shit! They had a bunch.
They,
A bunch
yeah,
of?
man?
Yeah.
I thought like maybe like 2 or something. Like they had a
I want to
what's
say
the
they
name?
had 3 or 4.
Yeah, they had 3 of them. No, 4.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's Yellow Submarine,
Yellow Submarine.
Sgt. Pepper,
Help.
Help.
Sgt. Pepper wasn't a movie done by them. It was actually a movie done by
Oh, it was like a.
by someone else. They Magic Mystery Tour.
Oh, okay, that's something.
That was yeah. Help and Hard Day's Night.
Yeah. So and like groups like the Monkees, they had one that was like this, and it turned into their TV show, or maybe it's vice versa.
That's great. Yeah.
But it was just like, here's this super group going around England acting wacky and mentioning the Queen. And stuff.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that the lady, no, excuse me, the guy, his name's Kim, that's why. The guy who made this also, what else did he do? Shit. Oh, he made S Club 7.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did that, and they're like the 2000s version of the Monkees. They've got TV shows and movies and TV shows. Like I couldn't tell you a single S Club song. Like I don't think they have songs. It's just they just do shows and they pretend they're a band. Like the Monkees. Like they don't. What's a song by the Monkees?
Hey, with the Monkees.
Oh, you mean the theme
Think
song
the
to their
monkey
TV
around.
show?
I'm a Believer.
I'm a believer.
I don't. Is that their song or is that just a song that they?
No,
play?
that's their song.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Or is it by Smash Mouth, the greatest band in the world?
Last train to Clark's.
Oh, right, it's not a contest, okay?
Kevin Clarkson.
I do want to point out that the director, Bob Spears, was directing the film That Darn Cat. You know, the Disney That Darn Cat with Christina Ricci and Dougie Doug.
And Michelle Trachtenberg's in that one, isn't she? Or was that in Harriet the Spy?
That's Harriet the Spy.
I'm sorry. Same year? Did I get same year on that?
No,
I don't
I
know.
think that was
96.
96.
But yeah, he was filming that film, and then during that, he was approached, and he was like, hey, you want to do the Spice World, the Spice Girls movie? And he was like, who are the Spice Girls? I was like,
Sadly, he found out.
yeah.
I don't own a radio. Can you show me a picture?
Of a radio. So I can go buy one, and hopefully one of their songs will come on. Yeah, so that's like, it's just, they were like, let's do the traditional famous British band thing and give them a movie followed by probably a show. They broke up 6 months later, like I said, so it's not, this was their first year.
Yeah.
They debuted
Tumultuous.
96 December, and the movie came out 97 December. Like, this is all brand new shit to them. I read they weren't even like doing a lot, but like in '93 they all individually joined talent contest shows and kept joining and looking until eventually in '95 they finally
formed.
found each other, and then they not this person we'll sing this way, we'll sing that way until '96 they were like, let's do it.
98, they're like,
Never mind, get out of there.
I'll tell you, I was telling Danny earlier, I have hated this movie for so long, and I hadn't watched it in forever. And rewatching it, I don't hate it as much as I had, but this was, growing up, the movie this was the most hated, like, I hated this movie more than anything else until around 10 years ago, where Ultraviolet with Mila Jovovich came out, and that is the worst movie. Like, this was, for a while, the worst movie I ever saw,
and now
until Ultraviolet, and, yeah. Still, if you haven't seen Ultraviolet, don't. We
can do it next
No,
time.
I'm not. I won't do it. I'm not. I hate it. It physically upsets me.
We'll do it with Delta. Well, that'll be good for him. Yeah, that's basically all the info we have. So join us next time along with Juliette Landau, Armin Mueller-Stahl, and Whoopi Goldberg for the, technically, 1995 action family Theodore Rex.
Woo!
Do you know what that is? Are you familiar with that at all, or?
Don't. I thought I knew every Whoopi Goldberg movie.
That's the one where she and her cop partner, an anthropomorphic T-Rex, have to go around to find the killer of dinosaurs. Like, there's somebody who's murdering dinosaurs, and she has to go and find them.
All right.
At the time, it was the most expensive direct-to-video movie because it missed its theatrical release deadline, and they were just like, "Well, it's video it goes."
Good Lord, good luck with that.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too bad. So, plugs. Please go to www.ymt.com. Again, that's www.ymt.com for all things Why Would You Make This? We've got links to our episodes you can download for free. We are also available on iTunes and Google Play. I haven't actually checked Google Play since we set it up. I gotta make sure that's still going. I'm sure it is. We also have links to the Why Would You Make This YouTube on whywouldyoumake.com, where you can see a bunch of videos. We've got old episodes on YouTube in case you're one of those people who likes to just put YouTube on for like 4 hours on a loop. Just go next one, next. We've got puppet videos. I do too. That's why I put them on there.
Love YouTube. Getting into that business.
We've got puppet videos. We've got some other comedy videos. It's all on there. You can get a link on the Why Would You Make This. I don't know. What do you got? You got a YouTube?
Soon. It's. Don't worry. We'll get to that.
I'm just
it's
saying.
soon.
There's nothing to advertise. It's soon.
But eventually. But yeah, you can follow me everywhere on the interwebs. I am Chronically Enfeebled is my name, so you can follow me at Atomic Identity on Twitter, or just look for Chronically Enfeebled. Same thing, Chronically Enfeebled for Twitch, Tumblr, and soon to be YouTube.
All of them. Well, I don't think they don't really. Oh, but yeah, your name will be Chronically Enfeebled, I guess, because they don't give you customized URLs. Unless you're like, the big dog. And by using that phrase, I will never be one. You're banned once you use it in public. So yeah, if we asked any questions today, I don't think we asked any questions today, but if you have anything you'd like to tell us, or if you have any Troy McClure quotes or suggestions for movies for us to do, you can contact us by searching Why Would You Make This on Facebook. You can contact me, Jimmy Time, directly by going to @TimeCommander on Tumblr. I think I'm also Time Commander on some other things like
Twitter, I believe, is one I follow you on.
Yeah. What did I just say?
You said Tumblr.
Yeah, I'm probably on Tumblr too.
Yeah.
It's probably that. We also have a Tumblr for Why Would You Make This? I think I'm on Instagram and whatever. Just type it. It's probably me.
Type it
Just
in,
type
man.
It. What
God.
are you doing? Why am I talking?
What is the matter with
Just
you?
type over my talking. Just do it.
Why aren't you typing?
So the intro music was an edited version of Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. Taking us out today, I don't know, what are we going to sing? One of the Spice Girls songs.
Bro, it's gotta be Wannabe.
Yeah, well...
Tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
Yeah, and then it's,
I'll tell you what.
It's that line 4 times,
what
and
I
then
really,
scat.
really want. I wanna...
Really?
Okay,
Really?
all right, hey, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So for Danny Money, and huge!
Literally every time. Literally every single time.
I am Jimmy Time, and please remember, without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. So, tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I wanna.
Hop, hop, hop.
Zig a zig, ah.
Hop, hop,
If you
hop.
want to break up in 6 months, this is how you will do it. This is how you do
Skibby
it.
bop beep, skibby boop. Blop dip blue beep blip skip.
I'm the sporty one.
Slam your body down and body all around. Slam your body down and body all around. Slam your body down and body all around. Slam your body down and
Zig a zig, ah. Remix. Why aren't you typing?
The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.